Today, let's talk about the idea of what the 3 potential styles of the new Avatar movie and the new Avatar series can be. Now, when I first heard the announcement that the Avatar series was potentially going to be done as a 3D animation, I definitely didn't have the best reaction. Now, of course, this was a knee-jerk reaction. I was thinking, of course, the idea of 3D would be the Pixar kind of thing, which I didn't feel would work very well with Avatar, especially because the beauty of Avatar comes from its 2D animation. But let's talk about what some of these animation styles could be, and I'm gonna wrap this up with a news story about what it seems to be the new style will actually be. So stick around to the end of the video to hear that. Now, first up, we have Raya and the Last Dragon, which just came out recently. And that one is more of your classic Disney Pixar-esque DreamWorks kind of look, very similar to Kung Fu Panda or anything like that, which we are familiar with. That has been sort of the American 3D look for the past few years. I want to say like the past 2 decades or so. We've been used to that. But I remember when that first trailer of Raya and the Last Dragon came out, people were saying that she either looked like Katara or she looked like Korra, which was not very far off. And I think that the fluidity of the martial arts in that particular movie was really well done. And I could see it working for Avatar as well. The only thing that I think wouldn't work as well would be the bending itself, which is the most important part of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra is the bending. So with this animation style, I definitely don't really get the best vibe for it, but if it did turn out to be something like that, I wouldn't scoff at it completely. Now, next up will be an animation style which is starting to sort of pop off, and that's what we first saw with Dragon Prince, and then we saw it sort of evolve with What If, and we sort of saw it culminate with Arcane League of Legends, where that animation is completely spectacular. By the way, if you have not seen that show, Arcane in particular, you gotta stop watching this video and watch that instead. It is a phenomenal show, and when I was watching it and I had the idea of, oh wait, that's right, Avatar could be a 3D thing, this would be amazing, because Arcane in particular, What If and Dragon Prince, to the same extent as well, but Arcane does a really good job of integrating kind of this 2D sensibility, especially with its landscape shots. And some of the animation style that they're doing does lend itself to that older, stacked upon 2D animation style. Even some of their flourishes, like even some of the fire magic and the other sorts of magic they have in that TV show, looks very similar to bending, and I think it worked very, very well. And the choreography in that show in particular, super, super baller. So yes, if Avatar were to look like something like that, I would totally be game. But on this next one, that's where it really, really is going to hit. Now, recently, Avatar News on Instagram announced that Avatar Studios is planning on making an entirely new animation style, which is based in 2D, but in a CG animation, very similar to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I think is probably the best way that any of this could come out, and it makes me completely excited. It completely turns me around to wanting to see Avatar done in this way. And, it seems like this is what it's going to be as we go forward with Avatar and Avatar Studios. It looks like traditional 2D animation, I should say, is being left in the wayside, and we're now going to adopt this 2D/CG animation style, which, if it's going to end up looking like Into the Spider-Verse and all the work that went into that movie and how beautiful it looked, and how it had that comic booky style where you had the 2D and you had like the line work that happens, so here's the thing about animation in terms of 3D versus 2D. The big distinguishing factor is that 3D doesn't often have line work. It doesn't have that look of someone drawing it. It just has a nice, edge line, or really there's no edge line with most 3D animation, like I was saying with Raya and the Last Dragon and most of the Disney Pixar stuff, which of course is beautiful. But, you don't have that 2D feel because you don't have the line work. But something that was done in Into the Spider-Verse is that, yes, while it was generated in a computer and they are technically CG animation, they gave it that 2D look by giving some of that line work in the middle of certain animations. Like if you look at, Miles's nose, or you look at any of the characters in there, you'll see their edges are done up with a line very similar to and very reminiscent to 2D animation. So if Avatar were to do something like that, then shoot, I am totally down. I'll be the first one in line for that, and I will defend it if that is the case. So what do you guys think? I want to hear in the comments below. Do you think this is a good idea, a good step forward for Avatar? You know, bringing it into the modern age, but still holding on to its 2D traditional animation tradition, at least in a aesthetic sense? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.